His daughters, his wife, and then they moved to LA at least 30 years ago. But I mean, they kill Baha'i, they kill Christian, they kill Jews. Oh, this evil government is just, I don't know, evil. I can't find any more word.
Death to the RBC and death to the mullahs.
Yeah, 100%. I just hope we could vanish them.
Tell me, have you been in Iran?
No, I've never been there. I'm not allowed. I'm not allowed in the country.
You shouldn't go.
You're not allowed. Why? You have citizen there, right? Or not?
No, I don't. No, I'm a British citizen. However,
okay, so why are you not allowed if you are not citizen?
Because it's gay.
When I apply for a visa, then they ask, what's your mother's name? What's your grandfather's name? And then all of a sudden, they'll find out who I am.
Oh, okay.
And I will get arrested as soon as I hit the airport.
But you was trying to do it, so it's kind of interesting for you to visit, right?
I will go back to that country once they are dead.
No. I mean, it was interesting for you to visit Iran because you was applying for visa,
Sorry. No. Just to clarify, I have not applied for a visa, but I know as soon as I know my full name, they are not going to. Even if they do grant me a visa, I'll get arrested as soon as I hit that country. I know that already, and my mother's warned me: do not go back to Iran.
I understand.
But now I want to go because obviously my mother passed away, and I want to go and see what happened. And I think even our property got confiscated in Isfahan. I don't even think.
I know he was from Isfahan.
Oh, I'm so very sorry to hear that. I can't go back home either. Yeah, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. I can't even inherit my parents' inheritance, I can't. The government will take over. You take over. Damn these mullahs, you know, they change millions of people's life. You know, I wish they could just vanish it from the earth.
I wish.
Yeah, only for that.
Shit, it started raining. God, what is wrong with this country?
Alright, now I'm gonna have to jump in. Oh, I can't. Oh, yeah, I can. Good Shabbos, Rabbeinu Yishaloyloim, death to the mullahs, death to the mullahs, death to the motherfucking mullahs. I mean, it's kind of weird to say, like, you know, death to anybody, but, you know, apparently those Iranian mullahs, you know, are some real bastards. I mean, they have a lot of blood on their hands.
Those cunts a bit. Trust me, John, it's a bit.
You know, John, I can't even harm any beings. And even it's against my faith, my belief, but I'm ready to kill all the mullahs by my own bare hands. That's all, period. I don't care. I'm really ready to kill them by bare hands. All of them.
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm a very peaceful person. I believe in like karma, do not do any harm. But when it comes to mullahs, different story.
Exactly. I don't have any single of compassion for these beings, and even I'm sorry, I don't know who is in this room, but when I see these Muslims who are covering their head, just imagine in the middle of the London, I hate them. If I'm in a tube, if I see them, I change the wagon. I just leave the tube. I can't even stand it. I can't, even at universities, there are too many. I mean, I don't know, I hate them. I hate mullahs. I hate those ones with the long hair, with all covering their head, you know. They are the same. I just don't like them. Why, Shiva? My voice making you sleep. That's why everybody goes, oh, I can, I would go because everybody asleep after I smoke. Thank you so much.
It's because you have a very calm and soothing voice. That's why, Sheree.
Thank you, so sweet of you. But when I speak about mullahs, the people might think, oh, how much this lady is aggressive, or you know, maybe she's a serial killer. Oh, thank you so much. But I mean, I can kill the mullahs by bare hands. I don't take back my words. Yeah.
We can both do a double act.
Yeah. We have to make it. I wish we could make a group and then we just go there and kill all of them and make the world free. Just imagine what they have done to Iran, what they have done to us. My mom was in Iran when I lost her. Omar, you know.
Oh,
I
I'm
also,
sorry.
yeah, thank you. I also couldn't say the last goodbye to her. Yeah.
I miss my mom so much. So
Hi, good. Hi, everyone. I want just talk about. I hear something about killing. Okay, Sherry. I want to know something about Muslim. Okay, I am from Morocco. Okay, and I have many people I know. It's Jewish, Moroccan Jewish. Okay, and I ask Israeli people. They are from Morocco people. Okay, they are from Morocco and they know about that. So we cannot judge all the people and we put them all in same place. We cannot do this one. There is different people. We cannot judge the people about the religion. No, the people cannot do that one. The religion is different and the people is different.
They destroyed the world. They destroyed all beauties. If you look at the history of Iran, just 45 years ago,
Exactly.
Now,
I will tell you. I will
you
tell you.
don't know
I'm from
anything
Morocco.
about what they had done to Iran, and so extremist
Sure.
Muslims, they are terrorism. Look at the
Sure,
Hamas.
sure.
Look at the Hamas, what they did on 7 October. 7 October, never ever I'm going to.
I am given an American, if I have an Indian passport, I don't want some foreign government to treat me with the same way that they do class warrior, right?
Exactly. And that's the thing,
Yeah.
right? So, a class warrior news should be treated completely differently. Like someone like a Pluro or someone like Tivan or Perry or Thor, I think it's actually quite
If
good.
it's for plural, then it is only for Indian nationalists who are racist and hate the Pakistani Muslim people.
Actually, class warrior. I think you need to get some tuition because you are You've been stuck in the same class forever. You need to get some tuition in class.
One sec.
Tribal language.
Good morning, Mark.
Tribal language you're speaking. Don't talk in a tribal language. Don't talk in a tribal language. We cannot comprehend what you're saying.
He says death to Northeast, death to Assam. I said, fuck your mother. Yeah, see, this is the thing, right? I think what Thor said was actually spot on. And Krypton, that's where I was coming from, right? So you see there are people like Purul, Thor, Perry, who are actually quite decent. I mean, I disagree with so many things which...
Okay, we got like a 10-minute hard stop. Good morning, Vietnam.
People, okay. I live now in Middle East and I meet many Iranian, okay? I meet many Iranian. I found they are open mind, not like what they told us in the media. But I will tell you, I'm not tell you, no, you are wrong. No, you are not wrong. There is these things. There is some families, or not some, but many families, they make sure that ladies do not go outside without hijab. But I will tell you,
Let him finish. We don't know what you want to say yet.
He's saying that Islam is fine, you shouldn't make Islam.
It can be
just
a
wait.
conversation.
Just wait. I will tell you, I am sure 100. I know your way how you're talking. It's good way. It's good way. No one will accept someone to tell him do this one, and he want other things. No. In Islam, I will tell you to understand something. In Islam, no one push you to do something. It's by you, because when you be in the God, He will judge you only you, no other guy.
Supposedly beacons of democracy, but
Wait, I hate to interrupt you, Krypton, but Plural is an Indian nationalist and a racist, and he's a know-it-all. He thinks he knows everything. He makes me...
I read the Quran and she said,
just put you to the audience if you will interrupt, please. I just don't like when people speaking over each other. I don't like when people screaming, and I really want to hold this house like with intelligent conversation. People can be disagree. Some can make stupid opinions, and it's okay till people not screaming and respectful and speaking respectful. Okay, please, Mr. Can you finish your
Bullshit.
what you want to say, and Cherry or me will try to respond.
Thank you, Julia. Thank you, Sherry. I want just correct some things. Like, as I told before, I am from Morocco. Okay, I live with Jewish. Okay, people. Okay, very nice. We are not feel any different between us and them. There is no difference. We eat same food, same ingredient. There is even the party of marriage. It's same. There is no difference. So about Iran, then politics. It's like that. I'm not agree. Almost the people in Islam, they are not agree about Iran, what they doing. Yes, what Hamas she did. Okay, almost Muslim country, they are not agree. But what all the people not agree, it's killing. The name of kill, it's not acceptable to say we kill. No, it's not acceptable, this one. We live in the peace. Oh yes. To live in the world, no one win. No one win in the world. No one.
Mister, I don't exactly understand which point you want to make.
What up, bro?
The point is, when I hear this, I hate this.
I'm gonna read from the Tao. I have to go to work, so this is my.
I was wondering why it was this room.
This is my prayer room before I go and have to go to work.
You have to work on Saturday.
Well, I'm getting paid overtime.
Yeah, that's great. That's the best. Well, not the overtime part, the money part.
Have you ever heard of the Tao?
Yeah.
Really? Well, let us read the Tao. I think you're going to like it. It will be the best download you make from this app all day. I fucking promise.
That's right.
Where do you live, Brock?
Tennessee.
It's a good state. They were good partners to the Confederacy.
They were.
Collaborators. Collaborators to the enemy.
I did live in Great Lakes for about 2 months.
Well, then you are a seaman. Okay, this is verse 49. This is the Tao Te Ching. The sage has no fixed heart of his own. Those who look at him see their own hearts. Those who are good he treats with goodness. Those who are bad he also treats with goodness, because the nature of his being is good. Those who are truthful he treats with truth. Those who are not truthful he also treats with truth, because the nature of his being is truthful. What are you doing today, Brock?
I don't know.
The sage lives in harmony with all below heaven. He sees everything as his own self. He loves everyone as his own child. All people are drawn to him. Every eye and ear is turned toward him. Again and again, men come in with birth and go out with death. 1 in 3 are followers of life. 1 in 3 are followers of death. And those just passing from life to death also number 1 in 3. but they all die in the end. Why is this so? Because they clutch to life and cling to this passing world. I hear that one who lives by his own truth is not like this. I'm gonna mute you because there's like a feedback.
Sorry.
He walks without making footprints in this world. Going about, he does not fear the rhinoceros or tiger entering a battlefield. He does not fear sharp weapons, for in him the rhino can find no place to pitch its horn. The tiger no place to fix his claw. The soldier no place to thrust his blade. Why is this so? Because he dwells in that place where death cannot enter. Tao gives all things life. Te gives them fulfillment. Nature is what shapes them. Living is what brings them to completion. Every creature honors Tao and worships Te, not by force, but through its own living in nature, and through its own living and breathing. Though Tao gives life to all things, Te is what cultivates them. Te is that magic power that raises and rears them, completes and prepares them, comforts and protects them. To create without owning, to give without expecting, to fill without claiming. This is the profound action of Tao, the highest expression of Te. That which
Can I ask
creates.
a question?
Yeah.
So, but essentially, Taoism is just, in a general sense, it's just a deep explanation of life without any religious context. Yeah?
No, it's to me it seems very religious.
Well, yeah, but there's no deity.
Well, the Tao is the way and Te is the magic. So there's a way to affect the Tao from the Te. That's why it's called the Tao De Jing, which is the way of change. So I kind of view this as a hypnosis document, and I kind of view it as being some wise, super genius who, in many ways, this reads like a base operating code, meaning that this guy kind of looked at the natural environment, looked at his environment, and put this down as his way of describing the universe. So from that, he kind of reverse engineered the universe, and that's why it's such a powerful book.
It's very interesting.
Just look at it as source code. You know, I don't work in software development, but you know, I've seen enough HTML pages to know that I don't know shit. But like when I read this book, it just reads so true that that's why I say it's like a hypnosis document. It should technically bring you into communion with God.
Yeah, it's really, really interesting. How old is this book?
It's like 2,500 years old.
I was going to say, which empire?
It's got all that in the preface. You know, who the ruling party was in China at that time, or what empire, or dynasty, I guess.
Was it the leader of the Ming Dynasty, the one that had like 120 something bitches or something like that?
I don't know.
What time do you have to go to work?
I mean, I do have a heart out, but I can kind of walk in when I walk in.
What time you gotta go to work?
I have to leave here probably by no later than like 7:45. So 45 minutes. Okay, let's jump into a different category of book. This is called the Bachir, which is like saying be here. Since it's Shabbos, this is Rabbi Ahile sat and expounded. What is the meaning of the verse, God Yahweh is king, God Yahweh was king, God Yahweh will be king forever and ever? This is the explicit name, Shem Ha Me Poresh, or Shem Ham Poresh, for which permission was given that it be permuted and spoken. It is thus written regarding the above mentioned priestly blessing, and they shall place my name upon the children of Israel, and I will bless them. This refers to the name, containing 12 letters. It is the name used in the priestly blessing, may God bless you. It contains 3 names, each having 4 letters, making a total of 12. Its vowel points are Yafa'al, Wi-Fa-ol, and Yifol. If one safeguards it and mentions it in holiness, then all his prayers are heard. And not only that, but he is loved on high and below, and immediately answered and helped. This is the explicit name that was written on Aaron's forehead. The explicit name, containing 72 letters, and the explicit name, containing 12 letters, were given over by the Blessed Holy One to the angel, Mesamariah, who stands before the curtain. He gave it to Elijah on Mount Carmel, and with them he ascended and did not taste death. These are the explicit holy exalted names. There are 12 names, one for each of the 12 tribes of Israel. Atzitzaron, Akeltharon, Shmaktharon, Demusharon, Vetzaf, Yithron, Hemiron, Brakyaron, Erish Gadraon, Basava Monahon, Chazhavaya Havaha Yiryiha, Veharethon. Many of them are included in the heart of heaven. They include male and female. They are given over to the axis, the sphere and the heart, and they are the well springs of wisdom. Rabbi Rahumai sat and expounded what are the 12 tribes of Israel, but this teaches us that the Blessed Holy One is 12 rods on high. The word Shevet is the same for both tribe and rod. What are they? What is this like? The king had a beautiful fountain. All his brothers had no water other than this fountain, and could not endure thirst. What did he do? He made 12 pipes for the fountain and named them after his brothers' children. He then said to them, if the sons are as good as their fathers, they will be worthy, and I will let water flow through the pipes. The fathers will then drink all they wish, and so will the sons. But if the sons are not worthy, and do not do what is right in my eyes, then regarding this, these pipes will stand. I will give them water only on the condition that they give none to their children, since they do not obey my will. What is the meaning of the word Shevet, which has the connotation of both a tribe and a rod? It is something simple and not square. What is the reason? Because it is impossible to have one square inside another square. A circle inside a square cannot move. A square inside a square cannot move. What are the things that are circular? They are vowel points in the Torah of Moses, for these all are all round. They are to the letters like the soul, which lives in the body of man. It is impossible for man to come into this world unless the soul endures within him. It is impossible for him to speak anything great or small without it. In a similar manner, it is impossible to speak a word great or small without the vowel points. Every vowel point is round, and every letter is square. The vowel points are the life of the letters, and through them the letters endure. These vowel points come through the pipes to the letters through the fragrance of a sacrifice, which immediately descends It is therefore called a descending pleasant fragrance to God, indicating that it descends to God. This is the meaning of the verse, Hear, O Israel, the Lord is our God, the Lord is one. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Rabbi Yochanan said, what is the meaning of the verse? God is a man, Ish, of war. God Yahweh is his name. Man, Ish, indicates a sign. The Targum thus renders God is a man of war, as God is the master of victory in war. What is this master? Aleph is the first, the holy palace. Do we then say that the palace is holy? Instead we say the palace of the Holy One. Yud is the 10 sayings with which the world was created. What are they? They are the Torah of truth, which includes all worlds. What is the Shin? He said it is the root of the tree. The letter Shin is like the root of a tree. What is the tree that you mentioned? He said it represents the powers of the Blessed Holy One, one above the other. Just like a tree brings forth fruit through water, so the Blessed Holy One increases the powers of the tree through water. What is the water of the Blessed Holy One? It is wisdom. It is the souls of the righteous. They fly from the fountain to the great pipe, ascend and attach themselves to the tree. Through what do they fly? Through Israel. When they are good and righteous, the divine presence dwells among them. Their deeds then rest in the bosom of the Blessed Holy One, and he makes them fruitful and multiplies them. They're like gremlins. Oh shit, that's so funny. You know, it's so crazy how I was watching Star Wars last night when I was at the gym on the treadmill, and good God, the whole thing is like, it's like a giant magic. It's like Harry Potter, basically. The power of the Force with the swords and the lightsabers, and how fucking Luke Skywalker comes back as like the Holy Spirit, you know. And same thing with fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's the same shit, dude. I was watching it. I was like, I can't believe it. Like, I never really viewed it in the sense that these are all magicians, or this is like a hermitage, or the way that Skywalker, that chick Ren in the new ones, she's like his disciple, and he's the master. He's the raised man. Anyways, you get my point. So I don't know. It's just like, if that's how easy it is to create, you know, a storyline, just like rip from everything.
Right. Yeah.
It's like, so how the fuck is Star Wars gonna sue you if you come out with your own like alternative reality Star Wars? I mean, maybe a lightsaber is copyrighted, but like a light sword, maybe that's not copyrighted. I don't know.
Right.
Or swords of light. You can just, so anyways, that's the thing, is I think people will like that content, you know.
Star Wars is a rip. Imagine that.
Do you know who Robert Jordan is?
No, I can Google him. Though.
He's a very famous author, and I'm an alumni of the college that he's an alumni of. There's like a couple famous writers that came out of my college.
His face looks familiar.
I've never read one of his books, but every time I go to the bookstore, there he is.
There he is. There you are.
Okay.
You made it to the gym.
Last night I did, yeah. Went the night before too, and you know the crazy thing is I drink, but like I had like a 12-pack of Pacifico in like probably the course of like, you know, like 24 hours, and or maybe more than that, 36 hours. Anyways, my point is I had like a gout attack in my right foot, but this time I was like pretty proactive. I was icing it, and I took a hot bath, and then I was running it under cold water, then dunking it back in hot water, and like milking it. And thank God, but like the nerve has de depained itself, so like I'm feeling so much better today. It is so painful. Have you ever had a gout attack?
No, I haven't. But how did that come about?
It's from drinking too much beer and eating too much fatty foods. Your blood starts becoming like it starts crystallizing with acid, and then it all collects in like the foot, in like a part of the foot wherever it decides to go. It's like a demon that floats through your body, but it's all because of drinking. It's all basically diet.
That's
And
interesting because I've done my fair share of drinking. That's not happened to me.
yeah, it's one of those things where some people's bodies, I think it has to do with your kidneys and your ability to process all the alcohol and the ethanol. Anyways, all right, I'm gonna do one more reading. Um, and this is called it's called Master Timeless Blythe. Have you ever heard of Blythe?
I'm learning.
So this is R.H. Blythe's Life of Zen and Haiku, Bridging East and West. Trying to find like a good starting point to give you a good taste of Blythe. Well, let's just go right to the end. Or maybe to the middle. Okay, this is called The Destroyer of Worlds. Bob and I were out in the yard with a few detainees. The guards had gone inside, left us unsupervised to take exercise. Suddenly, Bob stopped, looked up, and waved. There was a house next door on the other side of the high wall, and there at the upstairs window were two young boys looking out. I waved too, and the boys tentatively at first and more vigorously waved back. The next day, at the same time, we were once again walking around the yard. I glanced up at the window again and was surprised to see a flurry of movement above the wall. Two little dark heads seemed to bob up, then disappear. Then one figure clambered up, followed by the other, and they straddled the wall looking down at us. It was the two boys we'd seen at the window, and to my surprise, they were not Japanese. Their hair dark but curly, their eyes round. They were European, perhaps Jewish. Something in them that reminded me with a little pang of Annie. Bob called out, affable, "Hi, guys." The boys were obviously brothers, maybe 12 and 10. The older one responded, "Hi." "How'd you get up there?" said Bob. "The wall's high." "They shed on the other side," said the boy. "We climbed up." "That's great," said Bob, "but be careful." "Sure," said the boy. "Right, I'm Bob, this is Reg." "Alex," said the boy. "George," said his brother. "Great," said Bob. "Where are you from?" "Here," said Alex. "Born in Kobe." "How come? I mean, you don't look Japanese, and you speak English." I said. "And your names?" "Dad's from Russia, Mom's from Lithuania." "Wow," said Bob. "That's amazing." Both the boys looked pleased, momentarily basking in the glow of being special. "You American?" said Alex. "I am," said Bob. "He's British." "Why are you locked up?" "Because I'm an American and he's British." "Wrong place, wrong time, or maybe right place, wrong time." I added, "We're designated enemy aliens." The younger boy, George, looked very serious. He asked, "Are the Japs going to kill you?" "Geez," said Bob, "I sure hope not." "I think it's unlikely," I said, though the thought had troubled me from time to time in the wee small hours. "They treat us pretty well," said Bob, "except for not enough food." The high shrill note of a whistle pierced the air, and one of the guards was rounding us up to go back inside quick as blinking. The boys had disappeared, slid down off the wall back on their own side, like two seals slipping off a rock into the sea. After that, the boys were there often, not every day, but 2 or 3 times a week. Some of the other prisoners spoke to them, but we had made first contact, and they looked out for us. They were happy to tell us the story of their family. Their father had been in the Russian army, and after the revolution he had escaped to Shanghai. There he had met and married their mother, set himself up as a trader, eventually moving here to Kobe and opening a general store. Sounds like quite a guy, said Bob. Again, the boys looked pleased, proud of their old man. Bob and I spoke about it later, agreed that the father must indeed be quite a character, a Russian Jew, ex-army officer, a trader, moving easily from China to Japan, soldier of fortune, I said. A bit of a swashbuckler, said Bob. Mind you, what? I suppose anyone reading about our lives might find them kind of exotic, don't you think? I never swashed a buckle in my life, I said, or buckled a swash for that matter. Still, one evening, when we'd been let out for a breath of air, the boys appeared peering over the wall, and there between them was their father. He gave us a wave. They called me Sid, he said. It's kind of a nickname, and it's easy to say. So you're Bob and you're Reg? Right. The boys told me about you, said you were all right. Glad to hear it, said Bob. We like them too. They did tell me you don't get enough food. I mean, who does these days? But looking at you, I see what they mean. You look like shit. Gee, thanks, said Bob. But we looked at each other and saw that he was right. While we kept to each other's company, we could ignore the weight loss, the clothes hanging looser with every week that passed, the sagging flesh, the general air of exhaustion. But the gaze of this emissary from the outside world cast a harsh light on us, stripped us bare. No more than this. We owed the worm no silk, the beast no hide, the sheep no wool, the cat no perfume, the thing itself, unaccommodated man, a poor, bare, forked animal. Here, said Sid, and he threw a small package to land at our feet. He was keeping a lookout, making sure that there were no guards in sight, and he signaled us to pick it up. Bob tore off the paper, found 2 sandwiches filled with a kind of fish paste, 2 rice balls, and a sweet bean cake. We stuffed the food in our pockets, and Bob threw the paper back over the wall. Be careful, said Sid. I deliver little packages for the officers and the guards, you know, cigarettes, canned food. So they pretty well turn a blind eye, but like I say, watch out. Before we could thank him, he had slipped off the wall the way his boys did, and he was gone. The whistle was calling us back inside. We shared the spoils, Bob apologizing because he knew I couldn't eat the fish. He ate one of the sandwiches, gave the other to a prisoner who had been poorly. I gave the same man one of the rice balls and ate the other myself, following it with the bean cake. It was an unexpected feast, and I offered a prayer of gratitude to Hotai, the god of good fortune. I was sitting on my pallet bed, reading a book of Suzuki's essays, when I heard a commotion outside in the yard, voices raised, shouting and laughing. Bob stuck his head round the door, a huge grin on his face. You have to come now. I laid down the book and followed him outside, where it seemed every single prisoner had gathered, watched by the guards who had taken up position along the wall, standing to attention, the rifles shouldered. A truck had backed in at the main gate, and the more able-bodied internees were unloading its cargo of boxes. Red Cross, said Bob, as the men ripped open the boxes to reveal the treasures, items of clothing, canned food, dried fruit, books and magazines, and cigarettes. There was one large box marked Hershey, which was packed with chocolate bars. The young man, opening it, started laughing beyond himself with disbelief and delight. Unbelievable, said Bob. It's like Christmas, Thanksgiving, and everybody's birthday rolled into one. One of the Americans, an older man by the name of McNulty, took charge and organized the distribution. In spite of the excitement and high spirits, or perhaps because of them, everyone was very well behaved as they queued for their allotted share. As far as possible, we all received the same, and it would be up to us to barter and trade, so I wasn't bothered at being handed packs of cigarettes and cans of beef. I knew I could readily exchange them later for the dried fruit, powdered soup, and those precious Hershey bars. When the clothing was handed out, trousers, sweaters, work shirts, a few of the men started trying them on because everyone had lost so much weight. Most of the garments were too big. 2 of the younger men started clowning around in them. Then they both squeezed into their outside shirt, marched up and down, making everyone laugh, even the guards, till the commander called them to order. The 2 young men were assigned to clear away the empty boxes, and the rest of us were dispersed back to our quarters, hoarding our booty. As I turned away with my own sash, I looked up over the high wall to the house next door where the 2 boys were. Alex and George were looking out of their upstairs window, no doubt, hugely entertained by the whole business. I waved and caught their eye, held up one of the chocolate bars and pointed to it at them. I mimed throwing it to them. In the evening, Bob and I did our circuit of the yard, and sure enough, the boys were there on the wall looking out for us. We had each brought one of our bars, large, foil wrapped, with unbelievable largesse. We threw the bars to the boys, who caught them and disappeared. Greater love hath no man, I said. On occasion I have told the story of those days of internment and met with varying degrees of incredulity. Our guards were not kind, but I can honestly say that they were not cruel. At worst they were indifferent, but I certainly never witnessed any brutality. We had told those young boys, Alex and George, with an air of confidence and certainty, the Japanese were not going to kill us. Apart from anything else, if that was their intention, they would surely have disposed of us before now, instead of going to all the trouble of keeping us alive. Nevertheless, one night there was real fear, as we were all woken from uneasy sleep by the guards ordering us to gather our belongings and get out into the yard. There was no explanation other than that we were being moved. It was chaotic. Prisoners stumbling around half asleep, pulling on clothes, throwing the few meager possessions into kit bags. My services as translator were suddenly much needed as I relayed the instructions over the cacophony of voices raised in curses, deprecations, complaints. Once more the older man, McNulty, took charge of the Americans, managed to organize them to get outside and line up in ranks. I stuffed my books and papers into my old battered suitcase, packed in with the few serviceable garments I owned. My scroll reading, "Form is emptiness," my little drama doll, Falak Nana Korobi Yaoki, 7 times down, 8 times up. Outside there was confusion and apprehension. I found Bob and lined up beside him. "What's happening?" The guards just say we're being moved to Futatabi. And where the hell is that? Who knows? I think the same translates a second time, as in, here we go again. Okay, I'll leave it at that. This is Mr. Timeless Blythe. Timeless Blythe. Biographical novel. R.H. Blythe's Life of Zen and Haiku, Bridging East and West. So, this guy's a genius. If you've never heard of R.H. Blythe, he lived in pre-World War, I guess, 1 or 2 Japan, but then he ended up in an internment camp and he kind of died young. But he translated all the Japanese sacred texts, all the Zen stuff, all the poetry. So it's like, it's pretty groundbreaking in the sense that the Japanese philosophical, psychological knowledge and that corpus of information, he was the first person to basically translate it and bring it to the West, so we could also gain that perspective and that enlightenment of Japanese Zen Buddhism.
That is cool.
But I should read you one of his poems. I got a couple minutes.
I'm probably about to get what's his name's little friend.
Okay, well, God bless you. Have a great Saturday. Boinoi Shaloilim.
That's right. All right, bro. Have a good day.
Thanks, you too, Brock. Talk to you soon. Bye. DJuno. Hope you've enjoyed this book reading of what it's like in an internment camp.
Soda.
Pop! 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 Soda! Okay, DJuno, I'm going to read one more book. Stay with me here. If you want to come up on the stage and say anything, just come on up. Welcome.
Man, thanks for the invite, brother.
Welcome to Juno. Welcome to Quick Philosophy with Jefferson Park, as well as Reading the Tao, Morning Gnosis with Zen. Are you an enlightened being, DJuno?
I would like to consider myself to be. I don't know much about the Tao, but I did dabble in Taoism a little bit. I came to great resignation, and exactly what I need to hear at the time. But I can definitely learn a lot more from Taoism, especially from what I did learn. So I'm excited, man. Thanks for the invite again.
Well, I'm looking at a beautiful picture of the Buddha sitting on a red lotus with elephants beneath and some kind of delicious dessert in his left hand, and his right nipple titty is showing. Okay, this is the Tao Te Ching. This is page 81, verse 68. The best warrior leads without haste, fights without anger, overcomes without confrontation. He puts himself below and brings out the highest in his men. This is the virtue of not confronting, of working with the abilities you have, of complying with the laws of heaven. This is the ancient path that leads to perfection. The great warriors have a saying, I dare not act as host, but would rather be a guest. I dare not advance an inch, but would rather retreat a foot. So advance, but do not use your feet. Seize, but do not use your arms. Cut, but do not use your sword. Fight, but do not use your own power. There is no greater misfortune than feeling I have an enemy. For when I and enemy exist together, there is no room left for my treasure. Thus, when two opponents meet, the one without an enemy will surely triumph. My teachings are very easy to understand and very easy to practice. Yet so few in this world understand, and so few are able to practice. My words arise from that ancient source. My actions are those of the universe itself. If people do not know these, how can they know me? Those who follow my ways are rare, and so I treasure them. Even if they wear the clothes of a beggar, they carry a priceless gem within them. Knowing what cannot be known, what a lofty aim. Not knowing what needs to be known, what a terrible result. Only when your sickness becomes sick will your sickness disappear. The sage's illness has become ill, his renunciation has been renounced. Now he is free, and every place in this world is the perfect place to be. When the people do not fear worldly power, a greater power will arrive. Don't limit the view of yourself. Don't despise the conditions of your birth. Don't resist the natural course of your life. In this way, you will never weary of this world. The sage knows himself, but not as himself. He loves himself, but not as himself. He honors himself, but not as himself. Thus he discards the view of his own self and chooses the view of the universe. Bold action against others leads to death. Bold action in harmony with Tao leads to life. Good fortune, bad fortune. One seems to bring benefit, the other to cause harm. Both heavens rejects them both. Both in the end tether men to this world. Who can know the reasons of heaven? Who can know its endless ways? Not even the sage has an answer to this one. Heaven's way does not strive, yet it always overcomes. It does not speak, yet it responds. It is not summoned, yet it appears. It does not hurry, yet it completes everything on time. The net of heaven spans the universe, yet not the slightest thing ever slips by. If people do not fear death, why threaten them with it? But suppose they did fear death, and this was the fate handed to lawbreakers, who would dare to do the killing? There is always a Lord of Death. He who takes the place of the Lord of Death is like one who cuts with the blade of a master carpenter. Whoever cuts with the blade of a master carpenter is sure to cut his own hands. Why are the people starving? Because the grain is being eaten up by taxes. That's why they're starving. Why are the people rebellious? Because those above them meddle in their lives. That's why they're rebellious. Why do the people regard death so lightly? Because they are so involved with their own living. That's why they regard death so lightly. In the end, the treasure of life is missed by those who hold on and gained by those who let go. When life begins, we are tender and weak. When life ends, we are stiff and rigid. All things, including the grass and trees, are soft and pliable in life, dry and brittle in death. So the soft and supple are the companions of life, while the stiff and unyielding are the companions of death. An army that cannot yield will be defeated. A tree that cannot bend will crack in the wind. Thus, by nature's own decree, the hard and strong are defeated, while the soft and gentle are triumphant. Heaven operates like the bending of a bow. The high it pulls down, the low it brings up. It takes from that which has too much, and gives to that which has too little. The way of man is otherwise. He takes from that which is depleted and gives to that which has too much. Who can offer an abundance to the world? One who has Tao. Such a one can give like the heavens. The sage gives without relying on his own effort. He completes without waiting for reward. He illumines without stepping from the shadow. Nothing in this world is as soft and yielding as water. Yet for attacking the hard and strong, none can triumph so easily. It is weak, yet none can equal it. It is soft, yet none can damage it. It is yielding, yet none can wear it away. Everyone knows that the soft overcomes the hard. The yielding triumphs over the rigid. Why then so little faith? Why can no one practice it? So the sages say, fulfill even the lowest position. Love even the weakest creature. Then you will be called Lord of every offering, King of all below heaven. After settling a great dispute, some resentment is sure to remain. Being content with what you have is always best in the end. The sage always assumes the debt as if holding the left side of a contract. He gives and wants nothing in return. One with true virtue always seeks a way to give. One who lacks true virtue always seeks a way to get. To the giver comes the fullness of life, to the taker just an empty hand. Though the Tao of heaven has no favorites, it always sides with one who has a pure heart. Let every state be simple, like a small village with few people. There may be tools to speed things up 10 or 100 times, yet no one will care to use them. There may be boats and carriages, yet they will remain without riders. There may be armor and weaponry, yet they will sit collecting dust. The people must take death seriously and not waste their lives in distant lands. Let them return to the knotting of cord. Let them enjoy their food and care for their clothing. Let them be content in their homes and joyful in the way they live. Neighboring villages are within sight of each other. Roosters and dogs can be heard in the distance. Should a man grow old and die without ever leaving his village, let him feel as though there was nothing he missed. Words born of the mind are not true. True words are not born of the mind. Those who have virtue do not look for faults. Those who look for faults have no virtue. Those who come to know it do not rely on learning. Those who rely on learning do not come to know it. The sage sees the world as an expansion of his own self. So what need has he to accumulate things? By giving to others, he gains more and more. By serving others, he receives everything. Heaven gives, and all things turn out for the best. The sage lives, and all things go as Tao goes. All things move as the wind blows. Okay, thanks for joining me, DeJuno, on this breathing hypnosis meditation.